Sebastian.
Yes.
Where were you? This is like
On the night of September 14th.
Well, yeah, actually. Where were you on the night of the 11th? The 11th of Farmer's Moon, in the 835th year of the realm. You had come the day before, or actually that day, you had come to Ehkel-zahar, and you had delivered your cargo. It took most of the day to get through all of the business transactions and everything. I believe that was what, foodstuffs?
Yeah.
What interests did you have? Besides, okay, yeah, you can come do business and leave. What actually, as far as Sebastian is concerned, what holds his imagination?
I think he would have been spending his time, essentially being from a smaller section of the world. The kind of social events, I think, are the things that would most intrigue him. So if you can catch a glimpse of anything high profile, then that's cool. But also if there's any, basically of the local shipwrights and stuff that are just blowing off steam, whatever they're doing, he wants to do.
You raise the shipwrights. Do the ships themselves interest you?
I think the ships interest him all right. It's more about people.
Right.
So the ships are cool, but if it just looking at ships is going to get old.
Oh yeah, that's but the people, yeah, you can definitely see the people, and there are taverns and events, and this is the city. This is Ehkel-zahar. This is. As far as the culture of wilderness, this vast peninsula of land that has to the west is bordered by the Western Deep. To the east, it's bordered by the Inner Sea, and to the south by the Adrian Sea. This is the jewel, the capital. Of interest, and it is the biggest city you've seen, and it is the most living city. It is a city of light. It is a city that never sleeps. The dangerous thing for Sebastian is that literally it is possible to run almost to sunrise, doing fun stuff.
I think he's going to be very tempted to give that his best shot. Yeah. Whatever the equivalent of caffeine patches is, he's on that.
Okay, so.
Not again.
But there's dancing. And with the
he would show up there.
Yeah. There's dancing. There's all sorts of activities. The later you go, the more masculine it becomes. Most of the ladies head home and stuff like that. But there's a lot to keep you going. Except. And this is, and you probably, it's easy to make friends, and everything's going great, and there's another hour before sunset, and it's really going to get going after sunset.
Oh boy, you have no idea.
You can't have clubs without disco balls.
This is
the planet is.
you are looking at what may be the most wonderful memory you have until the next time you come back and you make an even better one.
That's probably the routine.
Yeah. And then everything turns off. Vehicles stop. The trains. There's actually a train coming in that just slows down and stops on the track. If you had a halo, or some sort of, even no matter how great, it may have been a very low-end halo or whatever, but if you have a halo,
dinged up hand-me-down.
Maybe a dinged-up hand-me-down, but it abruptly, you think you've got a failure, because normally that thing is feeding you dates, times, local activities, people, messages, all of that, and suddenly off. And it's like one of those things where you take off your halo and you run it through, you cycle it, and it doesn't fix it, but you suddenly notice
Everybody else is doing
everybody else is doing the same thing. This generates its own party, from the standpoint that all the people in the area are like, what is going on? Why is it this way?
I think he'd spend like a little bit trying to gauge, essentially, is this a big city power outage? Like, does this happen regularly?
There are no. It's like there.
Once it's clear that doesn't.
In the
happen.
history of the realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This doesn't happen.
I think after that he would be.
It's like the sun. The sun went out.
Yeah, I think he would, in a lot of ways, be then trying to be, I don't know, sort of the facilitator, like just going around, and if he gets the feeling that somebody is, you have the people that are going to be in problem-solving mode. Those people don't really matter very much to him. It's the people that are starting to hyperventilate.
Yeah.
Those are the ones he's going to walk up and try to start a conversation.
Calm
and
them
just
down.
make it as casual and like I'm the country bumpkin that is here. Tell me about your amazing life here, and just get people talking. And that's what he's going to do.
You end up getting invited home to a family. It's weird because you're sitting around and they get out candles and they light candles in order to light their home. They check to see if you've got a place to stay for the night, but they at least make dinner. But it's a dinner that's not. It's like bread and cheese and stuff, because the stuff for cooking isn't there's no mojo.
The electric stove isn't working.
The electric stove isn't working. They at least you have somebody who enjoyed making candles, and so it's like, this is my moment.
This is my hobby. Is
my whole life for this.
You all told me I was useless.
I'm just remembering that one role-playing game we had years ago that was lit by candlelight. That was
Oh
pretty
yeah. Because we had no
Because we
power.
bottle
Yeah.
candles
Oh.
afford them, because it's going to be
But
valuable
that
for a
didn't
year
stop
from
us
now.
from gaming.
Heck no.
Nothing stops us.
No.
I'll just go to one. There's plenty of candles there.
There's a little bit of, at least amongst the family, there is a bit of concern, because when they realize there's no hot water.
Oh.
And what's weirder
What are you gonna?
is that after a while there's no water.
Oh.
That's definitely
That's a problem.
And so it's like, okay, we got to get water.
I think Sebastian would you want me to I'm your guest. I'm happy to help out. If you have a bucket and you can point me to a clean source of water, I will go get.
Well, that's one of the things. Like, okay, let's imagine that all water stopped now today here.
Ah.
I would go to
Where?
Folsom Lake.
You go to
The lake.
Your leg's struck.
you go to a lake.
The car's not working, so you get to walk to the lake.
I'm gonna walk to Folsom.
Yeah. Because it's the nearest source of water.
Yeah.
What? Dry Creek?
There's
If
a
you live at my house,
Neither is
you
Folsom
get
Lake.
into river water, and then you boil the heck out of it.
boil it.
With what?
So grab some sticks while you're at it.
Okay,
On
so
your propane. No.
You cut down the trees in your
I
backyard.
construct a
rudimentary
rudimentary
lake. Yeah.
I feel
a
like
lot of
Sebastian would probably have like
Yeah.
some, essentially just because he does have to move around.
Start a
I
fire.
feel like he'd have some sort of like, oh yeah, I've got.
Yeah, at this point, because you are a country bumpkin,
Yeah.
you're actually, it's like, hey, let's go in the backyard. I'll whip up a little fireplace.
Yeah.
We do this little tripod thing. We hang this. Went down the local stream. We got the bucket. We poured it through cloth a few times.
Yeah.
Boil it. Okay, now we have hot water that we can.
Drink.
What?
I
Drink.
think Sebastian's mood has been noticeably. It has not changed at all.
Mm-hmm.
He's still just as happy as he was when he showed up.
Another broken character.
I was gonna say, are you a little?
We're all broken.
So,
If there are kids, Sebastian is basically focusing on that. This is a fun adventure and a camping trip, and that also no hot water means that you don't have to take it back.
and
How old
so
is this man?
the evening passes.
Legitimately.
That's super cool. He'd probably be what is probably be like 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah.
He's a child.
Just a wee lad.
They offer to let you stay the night
It's not even me.
But you do actually have your own hotel room to stay at. So what is your?
I think if it seems like he can be of service, then I think he's happy to be here.
Okay.
I think even though he gets the hotel room, he doesn't like hotels. I think.
So you spend the night. They make a place for you on the couch. Boom, you sleep. Morning comes. Sunrise comes early. Or more accurately, day comes early. The Ehkel-zahar is in the middle of a vast bowl that is surrounded by mountains. So the sun actually peers over into the valley a little bit later in the morning than at home. It is, they make breakfast for you about 6 o'clock. You've got the wagon and the horses, or the wagon and the horse, the singular horse. Still, the night was dark, and now morning has come, and the world is lit only by fire at the moment. What is your what's your plan? What do you want to do? You want to head straight back? Do you want to sightsee a little bit on the way out? What's your thing?
What would my normal route have been? Would it basically just be to wander all the way back home, or?
The farm is. I mean, the farm. Yeah, you basically. It's a good long journey back. It's just the reason to make this long journey over the hills and low mountains to this place is simply because they pay good.
Yeah. Well, I imagine the nice thing about big long journeys is the exact hour you set out doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. So he'll sightsee a little bit. I think especially just because as much as he's seen Ehkel-zahar before, this is obviously a very different mode than he's ever seen it in. I think that is inherently sort of interesting.
One of the things about Ehkel-zahar is that actually makes it unique in the world is the shipyards, because nowhere else in the world are airships built. It is still a unique construction here. The Khazud Empire, that is the city of Ehkel-zahar, has turned its creative engines wholly into the construction of airships, and it shows.
Sweet government contracts.
Yeah. Oh man.
That'll never backfire on you.
But there's also a lot of commercial contracts. There's companies that are dominating the military side, and those you see construction of huge vessels. The biggest of which are the Starlifters. But there's also a plethora of other companies. Very creative companies that are building ships of their own. And because of that, there's people that bring their ships in for maintenance and upgrades and improvements. And so part of the sightseeing that's unique, not just for cities, but for the entire world, is getting to see that as well. Even on Earth, there is no place that builds the great airships the way they used to.
What is the activity level around? Is it like people are scrambling to try to find any way to continue building? Or is it
right now, it's at a pause. People are like, some work they can continue, but people are showing up to work. It's all down.
It's like us trying to go to work.
Yeah.
If the power's out. Like,
Yeah.
Good luck getting in that building.
No.
Yeah.
And then about 7:15 in the morning, something happens. You're on the wagon, and for a moment, there's a weird kind of trembling. And then without warning, you're on the wagon. Without warning, the ground beneath the wagon, and by ground beneath the wagon, I mean the entire plain of Ehkel-zahar, lurches violently. People that are walking by are literally just thrown to the ground. The wagon is actually sort of bounced a bit. The horse is not doing. The horse neighs in a bit of panic.
It's just a name. I say the name.
And a cloud. I mean, if you look around, down the street, everywhere, all of a sudden the ground is trembling, and you see dust rise up. The ground actually disappears from your sight. It's like it's almost changing structure. And in that instant, to the northwest, towards the very center of town, the ground begins to rise. It rises up in a dome, a huge hill that just violently throws itself up into the air. And then that hill shatters, and fingers of light stab out from it. And then the dome explodes.
They put the cold forge directly on the anchor stone.
Oops. Yeah, and the whole city sits right on it. The shaft right down.
I wonder if they managed to blow up an anchor stone with that.
The cloud there is an explosion upward, a cloud of dust and dirt and soil and buildings and people and everything that was on top of it. The palaces that were on top of it, just violently thrown up. And coming out from it in a shock is a cloud of dust and darkness that is rushing towards you. A low, thunderous roar issues from the earth itself. The ground heaves, making it impossible for people to stand. You're in a vehicle and you're in the wagon. The wagon is literally bouncing and hitting the ground, and abruptly wheels snap and it goes over to one side. The road buckles and cracks, and your horse panics.
Not the horse.
And you can make a roll for the horse.
Nay.
Around you, you're in the midst of the sounds of shattering glass, creaking, snappings, buildings shudder and collapse. And then there's a deafening crack of thunder, and the oncoming cloud surges past you, turning the world into choking darkness.
The horse does not do great with a 16.
Oh no.
It rears, it lunges forward, and the ground is actually bending. And horses are not designed for that sort of thing to happen. And it goes down hard. Foot sinks into the ground, but is suddenly not as much there, and you hear the horse scream.
Oh no.
But that is a scream in the midst of screams, and then it's darkness. You were in the wagon. The wagon is now fallen over to one side. The horse went away. You heard the horse scream, and you can decide whether or not you're still in the wagon or if you went down on the ground.
I think you'd go down on the ground. I think as soon as he starts to see the horse start to go and he's comprehended what's going on, his first thought is, I think, going to be just jump out of this thing. This is not a good place to be.
When the cloud reaches you, it's hot. It's like standing over a fire, that heat that rushes on you. And it goes on by. And you're in darkness. But you can hear people crying, people screaming. What do you do?
I think when he jumps off, I think essentially what he's going to try and do is position himself so that he's facing the wall coming towards him. then basically get on the ground, hands over head. And then basically when it passes by, he's going to get up, just try to see what he can see, and he's going to try to keep, basically no matter what he's doing, he's trying to keep his body facing forward so it's at least still oriented, even with everything going on. And he's going to just try to see, probably meander back towards the city, but he's going to try and see
You're
what's
in
going
the
on
city,
people.
but the center of the city was to the northwest.
Okay.
That is where the
So I think he's going to try to follow some of the voices he's hearing, just to see
people.
what's
It's
going on.
everybody in the vicinity, everybody within his hearing. You've got people that are crying out for help. You've got people that are weeping. You have people that are in terror. You were on the edge of the shipyards, and the brick buildings in the area, that shock just collapsed them. It doesn't take you a lot of imagination to realize there were people inside. You hear part of that shock and the really hard tremor that was over 7 on the Richter scale, is you hear timber being torn and broken. You can orient yourself, you know the direction you were going.
At least he's going to try to keep that until at least some of the dust settles and he
Okay,
can
so
see
you
landmarks
stay,
again.
stay in the shelter of what you've got, and you wait for the dust to settle. The dust does settle, begins to thin a little bit. And it is good that you're in shelter. You're kind of in that shadow, because there is a rain of stone and earth and other things that just falls out of the sky for minutes. People that are unfortunate enough to be in the wrong place to get hit by the hurled rocks and earth, many are injured. The other thing that, as the dust begins to settle, the other thing that you catch is smell, which is you smell smoke. There were a lot of people that were capable of cooking their breakfasts and everything, that had fires in place, that now inadvertently those fires have been handed a whole lot of fuel. The other thing about that was that shockwave of air went out, and then it came back and went rushing past you. It brought with it a wind. And that wind feeds the fire, and the fire asks for more air. So,
he's once things settle a little bit, he's going to try to help people that he can see and hear, but he's also going to try to make his way back, if he can find the way at all, to see if he can check in on the family.
The family? Okay. You work your way.
That'll probably take him longer than intended, because I don't think he's really capable of, if he hears somebody
Yeah.
calling out, not at least going to check on them. But
Yeah, there's the main thing that slows him down is there is a huge population of terrified, injured, and frightened people. You get to the family, and their house has gone over. 2 houses down, there's a house afire, and it is sending embers up into the air, and those embers are, where they land, are beginning to cause fire, ignite their own fire.
I think
The family was in, the father wasn't home, the wife was home, as were the kids. There's 3, the 3 kids are weeping and crying, are sort of climbing over the wreckage, trying to get to their mother, who is in there somewhere.
I think basically Sebastian beelines towards them, and then kind of comes up, beside them, and then basically finds some sort of whatever task he can come up with off the top of it. Basically, I'll take care of your mother. but I need a huge favor from you. Can you go and can you help with this over here? And even if only one of them peels away, it still makes his job a little bit easier.
The kids obey you at that point, and you can send them to at least watch and look for traffic or whatever. The problem,
essentially, he at this point he's figuring that we're not getting much more in the way of debris. He's figuring right now the shadow that he was in is probably the most dangerous place to be because things can fall over, things can get smashed.
Yeah.
So he's basically finding like the biggest square or thoroughfare and parking them dead center in it.
right now the biggest problem is the fire, which is embers are starting the house. That was 2 houses down. It's starting the house next to their house aflame, and the mother is in the house, and she's not appearing on her own.
TikTok.
Yeah. What do you do?
He basically he figures that they were probably searching the area they were for a reason. So he's listening out for any sound, any sign.
Perception.
And he's gonna be focusing on that. 793.
You hear her, and it takes you shifting, but she's pinned beneath a beam.
He's not since he's not really a raw strength dude. He's more slippery. He's basically focusing on
leverage,
whatever pieces of timber he can, leveraging things so there's at least a couple inches more, and then kind of squeezing in, trying to keep doing it.
Against a difficulty of 5.
Well, at that point, I think his exact stats matter because has a 205 strike yet.
That sounds pretty good. At that, I'm willing to accept the fact that you lever it up, and she's able to slide her out, get her out, and get her on her feet. And when she doesn't have a beam pinning her down, she's a lot more mobile.
And does she? I mean, obviously she'd be injured. Does she seem at all grievously injured? Is she?
She's not grievously.
She's bruised.
She's bruised.
Okay.
But at that point, with the state of the house, she's like, where are the children? Getting her with the children. Then the next thing she says, where's my husband? Her husband works at the shipyard. And at that point, their own house is beginning to smolder.
Yeah. So Sebastian basically positions. He positions himself so that basically, in order to look at him at all, and he's talking constantly. So in order to follow what he's saying, they have to turn their backs so they can't actually see their house lighting up. And then he's basically going to go, tell me exactly where your husband would be. I will go look for him. In the meantime, what I need all of you to do to repay your kindness to me, I need you to follow this road all the way until there is no more city around.
She nods, agrees, and gets her children, and they start making their way as quickly as they can down the road. Their first inclination is to, she looks back at the house to get stuff, and then she's like, oh no, let's go, kids. And you can see in many places fires are beginning to burn quite brightly. Where do you go?
I follow to the best of my ability with obviously shifting landmarks, and I try to follow from what I know of the city and what she's described of where her husband will most likely.
You proceed this. You know where the shipyard is because you were there. Sort of retracing much of your stuff.
And mostly just assuming because the shipyard is going to be a fairly big place. He's trying to go, okay, what corner of the shipyard, and then he's also trying to follow essentially with all the devastation, the most wide open passageway in the understanding that most likely if he's not trapped or dead, he will probably be coming back that way in order to find him.
Give me another one of those impressive 205 rolls.
That's my luck up for the day, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I used my luck up for the day. 15 on the day.
Okay. You are searching for the man. And you search and you search. And you can give me another roll.
I'm guessing he finds a lot of horrible things that aren't happening.
Well, it's not a 15, but it is a 16.
Oh no.
She told you where he is. You understood exactly. You've gone there. You're looking.
The landmarks I'm used to using are not
The
there.
landmarks are a little bit out of place. You get into It's like you actually get into the shipyard where he's supposed to be. You're asking,
what is the precise definition of a block?
yeah, it's like, and you're looking. It's one of those things where as you move on, and you're calling, and you're looking, you're talking. Have you seen them? Like some of the people are like, what? Oh, maybe they're over there. And so you've proceeded along. At a certain point in your advance, you have a moment to look back, and you realize that back is not quite the option it used to be. And largely because this city is, more and more of it is getting aflame, and there's no water pressure. On the upside, they were, until power went out, they had been productive for 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
So now Billion needs rest. The Lord is sending them.
So there was some mismanagement.
And then the Cold Forge detonated with a force of 350 kilotons of TNT.
Oh.
The interesting thing is, you suddenly hear a different kind of noise. And the noise you hear is a whirring sound, a rushing sound. And you look up, and one of the big star lifters that only has a portion of its engines installed, but has enough, is the people are bringing it online to get it out of there. And you can see men that had been fleeing towards the city have concluded this is a bad direction to be going at the moment, and are now fleeing to get onto the ship. And the ship, having reached as much as the people that are there are willing to handle, now begins to lift off and turn away. And you are looking at gantries and gantries of ships in various states of construction. And off to one side, there's the main military construction right in front of you. Off to another side, you see the Corral family yards. And they have their own ships some that are in for repairs are like, no, we're good. Thank you so much. We're gonna come back a little bit later to get more work done. But many of those ships are beginning to power up. Not the least of which is because they can power up, because the world net is once more back online. In any case, the people that are no longer running the opposite direction you are, because the opposite direction you are is now very obviously towards an advancing line of fire. And what do? Do you want to roll another 16?
I'm getting a shot. Basically, at this point, Sebastian is not the world's cleverest man, and the variables have exceeded his ability to keep track of. So I think at this point he's just going, find way out. That's just what he's focusing on right now. That's a 6.
Okay. The ways out would be straight on through the shipyards that way, and hopefully outrace the fire. That direction is heading southeast, actually southwest. So you can head southwest. Other paths are closed to you, and heading southwest is simply, that's the direction that buildings and such like aren't burning at the moment. You've got
that's trying to get out in front of the fire.
Trying to get out in front of the fire, and assuming that there's no guarantee, you don't have any wide avenues that are saying it. Other option would be trying to get on one of these ships that's departing.
I think again, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he, as far as he's aware, basically the center of this technological hub just exploded. Everything shut down, and now and the world is on fire, and so he's right now going, I don't trust your fancy technology. What I do trust are my legs.
Okay.
So he's going to he is fleet of foot. He's going to trust in that.
Okay.
And
you run.
Thus far, his dexterity has not failed him today.
Okay. You flee on. The shipyards are big, not commonly open, but at the moment, guards and many gates are broken. Your ability to climb over fences to keep moving on. The advantage of the shipyards is most of the construction here is steel. There are places where gantries have entirely fallen. There are places that ships have gone down because their gantries that held them have collapsed.
He's also not trusting that the very first one you described didn't have all of its engines done. He's just like, no.
Yeah, well, you actually see that one very sweetly turn away and move off to the south towards safety. And very soon, those ships that actually are capable of leaving. The thing is, these ships were built by these people, and they know what they're doing. And the military vessels that are capable of moving, they get up and move. Civilian vessels, the ones that are immediately capable of leaving, are also departing. You've got that wonderful visual shot of you're running from trouble and they're just flying away, leaving you behind.
That is all it is.
Oh dear.
You are finding that this particular area is not nearly as friendly for you as you had hoped. You find the fire is nearer on the south side than you expected. As in, you come around and there's a blaze there, and the winds are picking up, and embers are flying along. It's like the winds are now running about 30 miles an hour, and they're in your face. So, would you care to give me another escape roll?
Yes.
That is much better. You come to a creek, a stream, and you have the option of just plain getting into it.
I think that's He's basically just going to
Get in the water!
jump into it and then flip onto his back and just let it take you where it wants to take.
Okay. And that's how you spend your day, kind of drifting. There are other people in the creek with you. Many of them are alive.
Oh, but not all.
It rains embers, and the dust is still thick in the air. The airships depart that can. And you stay in the water. The stream eventually brings you to the river. And the river can take you out of the city. The city burns for a long time because all of the training for fire suppression presumed they would have water.
And or virtue.
Mm-hmm. And while they see evidence that the virtue is returned,
You know what happens when you
nothing is running. No lights, no water pressure, no trains are running. You make it out of the city. But the sky overhead is black with smoke, and you are southeast of the city at this point, and beneath the cloud, it glows red.